Phase 4. The story is two scientists attempt to communicate with super smart ants. Worth watching? As a myrmecologist at heart, 1000% yes. One good thing, Parlance parameters. As a kid, I was always fascinated by ants. I had an ant farm, several even, that hooked up via tubes and ordered my ants in the mail. I had a little plastic see-through model ant that you could open up and see all the guts and inner parts that fit inside like a puzzle. I had books on ants and watched every documentary on them that was available to me. The fact that this movie takes ants so seriously is a huge win because, you guys, ants are so cool. So the movie opens with Dr. Ernest Hubbs already keen to the ants' super evolution and recruiting game theory / linguist connoisseur James Lesko to investigate the situation in a super advanced science station in the middle of the Arizonan desert. In order to keep within his budget, make his investors happy, and get a response from the ants, Dr. Hubbs goes to the tall towering structures that have arisen in the sand and blasts them all to bits. The ants respond by blowing up their truck and taking out the main generator. After a small mishap and miscommunication, they are joined by teenager Kendra, whose family was killed by the ants, and the scientist's insectile defense response to the tiny creatures. She smashes an enclosure out of revenge, trying to kill a few, but most of the ants and a few mantids get loose. This allows the ants to sabotage the structure from within, taking out their air conditioning while also laying siege from the outside, building smaller but shinier towers that reflect sunlight directly at the station. Hubbs, being bitten by an ant and nursing a growing infection, begins to take the war of the species personally, while Jim settles down and tries a different approach. He sits at his computer and mathematically draws an empty rectangle on a blank sheet, projecting that out to the ants. Dr. Hubbs is confused, not understanding why Jim would send out a blank message. But as Jim stated earlier in the movie, he needs to define the parameters of the problem, in this case, communicating with a species that doesn't understand English. So he sends a blank canvas with a clear space for the ants to respond within. And it works. The ants send back a small circle within a larger circle within the border, which does create more confusion while showing that they do understand humans on a mathematical level of sorts. I absolutely love everything about this movie, from the Kubrickian inspiration to the Michael Crichton-esque speculative sci-fi narrative to the Michael Manley procedure porn scattered all through the film, all combined with spectacular shots of various ant species working together to show off the super subconscious of their unified hive minds. I love seeing smart people figure out solutions to difficult problems, and I really love when the complication comes down to communicating with another species that fundamentally thinks in ways we might not even be able to imagine. Phase 4 is just as smart as it is abstract, making it a complex film that can't be categorized into one neat, simple box. And maybe it isn't our job to define this movie. Maybe one day the ants will evolve and let us know its true meaning. 5 stars!